What's up, guys? It's Kevlar here, back again with another video. Today we got some pretty cool stuff planned, and we'll kind of see where it goes. But first and foremost, oops, let's get checking in on some of our latest projects that I've been doing over in between videos here. So the first thing we've added in, which I think I'm gonna tear down and redo. This is a bone meal storage system for once our sugarcane fills up. I've been sitting AFK for quite a few days, and I think we're up to this chest, which means we just have one more set of chests to go before that all fills up. Once that fills up, the sugarcane will instead keep going this way, and it will end up in these composters, which go over here. Then there's a bubble elevator and a dropper, and then the bone meal comes over here and goes into the chests. So we'll start filling up with bone meal. One of the reasons why we need so much bone meal stored up is I plan to do a wood farm right around in this location, where we'll just sit AFK with our clicker activated, and then it'll just grow us trees, and the trees will get exploded by some TNT. The wood will fall, get collected into an area, and then we can just, as long as we have bone meal and as long as we have enough saplings, we can grow as many trees and get as much wood as we can. So that's going to be awesome for our wood supply, which means we'll have finally our hoppers completely taken care of, meaning we get the iron for this, and then we would get the wood for the chests, which is the other kind of expensive or time-consuming thing. And if we can just get a bunch of that, we don't have to worry about it. We can then start, moving on into some bigger projects, which uses more materials, because we'll just have more materials. But let's keep going. Oh, I guess the other thing I could show you real quick is the bubble stream that I set up for the other side. The other side gets collected into a dropper, it shoots it out, and then the items, the sugarcane slides across here, goes into our hopper, and then these hoppers go into our hopper chain. So now all of the sugarcane is collected all in this central spot. So that's pretty cool. Let's head on over this way though. I haven't done much improvements. Oops, went a little too far. We haven't made much improvements to the villager stuff here, but I did put our storage. There's some iron golems burning in the flames right there. We did have our iron storage here, but I've now put that underneath here in this little room. So now we've got got a nice little lit staircase down here with our iron bars protecting our gold. Not really, because you can just walk right through them. But so since I've been sitting AFK at the sugarcane farm, I've also been collecting a lot of iron. And so there's 1, 2, and there's even a chest up there. You can't open it because there's a solid block above it, but I do believe that is full of iron as well. And so we have these 3, these 6, 7, 8, and I think it's on the 9th one. So we have almost 9 double chests filled with iron, which is awesome. That kind of we don't need to worry about iron so much over here. Once this starts filling up a little more, I'm going to start converting them into blocks of iron, and then we'll store our blocks of iron here. And then over here, we'll have our little bit of bone meal from the poppies that come in. We'll just making them into bone meal. So that's just a little extra bone meal. Not too much. The sugarcane farm is going to produce a whole lot more than this. I can hear all the villagers up in. So yeah, the villager trading booth area, I plan to do in an upcoming episode. That's just like a much bigger project. I'm trying to get the sugarcane filled up so that we can get lots of emeralds. I got to get a zombie there. There's a little bit more prep for that area. Over here with the super smelter, I have kind of decided that we are going to fill it with what is this, bamboo. and the bamboo will automatically get cut down by pistons and an observer, and then we'll have some hopper mine carts that will then get, they'll go back over it a couple of times. It'll deposit the bamboo into the chests, and we'll use that as our smelting fuel. Right now we're using coal, but I go through so much coal, and the cost efficiency for coal, if there's only one item in there, it wastes a whole thing of coal instead of having 8 items. And so I think the bamboo will do a lot better. It's just a little bit more of a lag-inducing redstone invention to slow down our world even more, kill our frames per second. But let's keep going on over this way. So I want to do the wood farm, and the one thing that was holding us back from doing the wood farm was having honey blocks. So in between the episodes, I have figured out how to do some bee stuff. So let's go check that out. So our bee stuff is down here in between the 2 farms. So we got our bees going here, floating around, getting some honey or some stuff from the flowers going in, and there's an automated system that collects. So when, I'll show you here in a second, but this is our inventory of all the honey we've collected. I've been sitting AFK over here. We have 64 honey blocks, and then 4 of these bottles in this sort of a shape creates 1 honey block, and so each of these 16 bottles can create 4 things of honey. And so we have plenty of honey here for the wood project. But let's check out how these bees work and how I was able to get started on these bees. So back here, behind here, this is where I have set up the bee farm. And actually where these 2 little bee huts are is originally where I was planting trees. If you plant a sapling next to a flower, there's a chance that it will grow with a honeycomb or a bee nest, I think it's called, which is that one right there. It's a small chance, so I had to plant I don't know, a ton of trees before I finally got my first one, and then from the first one, you can start getting some honeycombs from that. So you get honeycombs by, hopefully I don't get stung in here. One of these beehives doesn't have the smoke. So these campfires underneath here kind of pacify the bees, so you can go by and you can clip it with the shears. When you clip it with the shears, it drops honey blocks or honeycombs. And then from honeycombs, if you do 3 honeycombs and then wood on the top and bottom, that creates these. I can't remember the name here. Maybe we'll just click that. So yeah, a beehive. So we have bee nests and beehives. So we can craft the beehives, and that's when we breed the bees. They need a place to stay, and usually the bee nest is there. But since bee nests are kind of hard to come by, we can now make the beehives. So hopefully that made sense. But you collect the honeycombs with the shears, and then you collect the honey with a bottle. And then you also breed the bees with flowers. So you feed a flower to a bee, to 2 bees, and it creates a little tiny bee, and then you can keep going from there. And so we have a plethora of bees, no need for any more bees here, but each of these hives, it'll output a signal of 5. That means there's 5 different stages to these honey hives. And once the 5th one is activated, that means that their honey is ready to be harvested, and that looks like I sheared all of those, but you saw what it looked like when it was ready to be harvested. These 2 just got harvested. Come in here. And there's a dispenser underneath it. It'll dispense a bottle. It'll grab the honey. Then the bottle gets put back into the dispenser. And then underneath here, there's kind of a filter system that only collects the honey maybe I'll just get rid of this block and I'll show you guys. So there's a dispenser that's got glass bottles in it. It'll dispense a bottle, grab the honey will come back in here, and then so that the bottles stay in here, we have a filter underneath there, and the honey bottle gets filtered so that the honey or the glass bottles don't just fall down in here. So only the honey bottle can get down here, and then from there it goes all the way over. Let's place this real quick. It gets brought down there. There's like a hopper train underneath there. There's a bubble elevator and a dropper, and drops them up here. They slide over. They go into these, and then it's just kind of bulk storage all the way down until we get these honey bottles. So I might make a couple signs here with some honey bottles, or maybe a honey block. But that solves our honey block issue. That's all the bees, and I've got a nice little home that's also kind of aesthetically pleasing. When you drop down here, we want to go to the nether. We got to run by the bees, so we get a nice little bee area with some bees flying around and some flowers, so it's kind of nice. And then we just keep on going on our way. So I haven't made much changes anywhere else, but now this area looks a little bad from here. So I'm glad we now have this wall here. But that's kind of what the plan for a lot of this stuff was going to be. Was a lot of the bees and stuff would, or a lot of these areas would be for random little areas for like bees, or maybe we'll do like watermelon pumpkin farm, or all sorts of crazy different things in some of these offshoots here. So let me collect a few things and we'll get started with our wood farm. So see you in a second. Alright guys, I've got a spot picked out over here. Before we get to that though, I did want your guys' opinion. So over there in the iron golem farm, there's a bunch of hoppers and like a big hopper one that goes straight up and down. And I'd like to cover that with some trapdoors here. So you guys should let me know down in the comments which one you like most. This one's dark oak, spruce, birch, oak, jungle, acacia, the crimson one, and the two nether right ones. I can't quite remember the names of these ones, but that's the red one, that's I guess the purple one, and that's the teal colored one. But I've got a spot over here that I picked out for the wood farm. So I'm going to start building on that, and then I'll bring you back in once it's just about done. Hey yo guys, we're back. Then just a little bit of extra time between the last clip and this one. In my attempt to build a wood farm, which we have accomplished here, this monstrosity here, we'll get to that in a second. I kind of realized that we will not be getting enough bone meal to supply this. And so because of that, we have to make a whole nother, we're almost at these full 4 chests filled up, plus all these hoppers are all filled up all the way to there. But let's go see how we did that. So we got the sugarcane farm. The sugarcane farm is now filled up, and so all of the extra drops go here to these composters. They compost, make bone meal. And then we also got another set of composters here that go over here to this farm right here. This is a watermelon farm. It's quite the hassle. I've already had to fix this. I think the chunks unloaded weird because my sugarcane flying machine was also in pieces. So I think I left when it was running, and then the chunks unloaded and reloaded. Weird, but I've already had to fix this like once or twice now. But these are hopper mine carts that are stuck in here with an iron bar attached to a slime block. Yeah, pretty crazy. We got to make that happen by, oh no, hold on. We have to do that by raising the sticky pistons up 1 block, or the slime blocks up 1 block. You use a piston to push them down, and it pushes the iron bars into them. That keeps the mine carts in their positions, and so as it goes across, it smashes these watermelon blocks and picks them up. And then from there, it drops in the hoppers below, and it goes down to our collection system. So I'll run it here in a second, but we have 2 chests full of watermelon, so we don't really need any more watermelon. If I need to, I can just add more chests here, and we'll collect a little more. But let's head up and check it out. Also, this area is getting quite laggy with the 2 different clocks. So this one runs off of the same clock as this, but there's less items in this hopper timer compared to that hopper. I think there's 12 in there, and there's only 4. The watermelon grows quite a bit faster. But here, we'll run it for you so you can get a sense of what this is. Like this. And so as it goes, it destroys the watermelon block, and then it just picks it up. So I'll try and get it from, oh, nailed it. Try and get it from this view here. So as they go by, it smashes the watermelons, they break, they get collected. There's like a little bit of loss here. As you can see, sometimes the hopper mine carts here are a little bit glitchy. They bounce around, but once it goes all the way to the other end, it hits these glass blocks, and then it just turns around and it keeps going. Without the glass blocks, I think the hopper mine carts would fall out of the iron bar holders they have there. And then they're starting to turn too. That one and this one are turned pretty bad, but I don't know if that really affects a whole lot. But here's our watermelon farm. This is our essentially not a watermelon farm, but a bone meal farm with the sugarcane now. So we'll just run, finish out. And there it goes, turns around. And already since we've gone over once, these are how many watermelons have grown again. So watermelon growth is by far a lot higher than the sugarcane. And so we collect it a lot more often, thus getting more bone meal more often. So let's sleep real quick. All right, so we're going to try and let that finish up over there before we try and run this machine. I don't know how well that'll all work, but essentially this is what happens. We turn this machine on from in here. What that does is it shoots out the bone meal here. All these hoppers collect saplings here, and then this shoots it at us. Sometimes our inventory gets full, and so that's why I have a hopper and a couple chests over there to collect the sticks and extra things. But this will collect 4 different wood types. It grows the tree, then it senses it, it pushes, these pistons come out, push the tree logs one more further out there. These are sticky and honey blocks with fence posts, and these will double extend as well. So if you can get up here and kind of see this. They'll double extend here with this little mechanism in here. Kind of see that. But that destroys all of the leaves except for obviously the center here. It just destroys the leaves and those drop the saplings so it can keep going. So all I have to do is just stand there and hold right click. I created a macro for that. Also, this right here is a slime block, or I'm sorry, this is a TNT duplicator. So it duplicates the TNT, it drops here, it falls. It's a little bit cheaty, but it is in the game right now, so we'll use it before we have to spend a ton of resources to make a bunch of TNT. But so yeah, the TNT goes down there, and as these long logs get extruded out this way, TNT blows up, they drop in the water, get collected, and then boom. They head over here to our storage unit. I know this isn't looking the best right now, but it is a little bit unique. And then these are our kind of mass storage for the 4 different logs that we'll be able to collect here. So we got our oak, we got our birch, we got our spruce, and then we got our forest, or jungle logs. So all the extra stuff will kind of get stored in here if we do happen to have extra stuff. So I'm going to sit here for a bit and mine up a bunch of wood and try and get our chests filled up a little bit. So the wood one, I've got 2 full stacks of oak logs without that much time. I also tried the birch. Haven't been able to do spruce. I had to fix it to get the spruce to work. And then jungle. A little bit of this is collecting the jungle saplings. So now all this is from the machine. But yeah, so guys, that's gonna do it for today. We made some like huge progress in our world. Having a wood farm like this, where it just collects a copious amounts of wood, will really help us start to fill out our storage unit way over yonder with all of the wood type things like chests and sticks and any other craftable item that requires sticks or wood. So we should be able to start using a lot more different wood types, or a lot more designs in our builds here. So I hope you enjoyed it, and we'll see you guys in the next episode. Don't forget to like, subscribe, hit that notification bell. It all really helps out. Thanks. Bye.